Guys, tonight is the night. It is 6 to survive. We're determining a number one contender for Matanza's Lucha Underground Championship. So come back and talk about it with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Incredible.
That was a great pull. I would have never picked that.
This gets me amped, and it reminds me of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Nice.
This is incredible. Guys, it is Season 2, Episode 21 of Lucha Underground. This is the Lucha Underground After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Thank you for joining us. As always, I am Ty Matthews. I am Ty Matthews PMA on Twitter, on Instagram, all sorts of social media. Next to me, as always,
hello, sir.
My lovely, talented co-host.
You're lovely and talented, by the way.
I try.
You do a good job. Hi, I'm James Franck. You can follow me on Twitter at TheJimboSlice. That's TheeJimboSlice. That's at TheJimboSlice with 2 E's. That's at TheJimboSlice. This Pentagon Junior type mask right here has a funny backstory. So my mother-in-law went on a cruise to Alaska. She comes home. She's like, I got you a gift. There's a shirt that says Alaska. And I'm like, cool. I expected that. She's
Sure.
like, no, it's under the shirt. And there's this... Which is like, it's kind of like a knockoff. It's not entirely Pentagon Junior, but
Sure.
it's pretty close. And I'm like, I'm glad you're my mother-in-law.
That's incredible.
You know, like, you bought me a lucha mask.
Is that possible? Is that the original Pentagon mask?
I
maybe?
don't know, but
That's what I'm wondering.
I saw it and I was like, it's pretty much a Pentagon Junior mask.
Absolutely.
And then after the episode and tonight's match, I was like, I'm bringing that in. I'm gonna set it on the table next to us.
Of course, he's our guest. He's our guest tonight. Speaking of guests, next week we're gonna have a very special guest. Mr. Cisco himself will be here in studio talking episode 22. We've only got a couple episodes until Ultima Lucha Dos, so he's gonna have a lot to talk about.
He's gonna have a lot to talk about, and he could plead his case whether or not he was quick to rat.
Exactly. He's, he watches the show. He loved that we were giving him shout outs, and he told me, it's like, man, I wish I could tell you guys what happens, but you guys need to see it for yourselves.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
I'm excited. After the way last season ended, after last Ultima Lucha, you can only imagine what is going to happen in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy because you'll read like Krista Joseph's tweets, and it's like, oh man, we're trying to plan Ultima Lucha 3 and Ultima Lucha 2 hasn't even aired yet.
Right,
You know? Like,
right. I have heard rumors, the scuttlebutt going around on the interwebs is that season 3, we may not have to wait until 2017 to see it. It may be the fall of this year, but that is hearsay at this point. Not sure.
That'd
Hopefully.
be great because they did get like another 12 episodes.
They got a big old extension.
They got a nice extension, so maybe they're like, okay, we'll give it to you earlier because we have more episodes to keep it rolling.
Sure.
Sure. Oh man, we could hope, right?
Right. We start off obviously with a recap of the events leading up to now. Of course, as we mentioned, Cisco, he will be in here. He has been arrested. He's been locked up and kind of persuaded to wear a wire inside the temple.
Not good.
That is not good news.
Nothing ever good comes from a wire.
Like, guys have gotten their faces eaten for not winning championships.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when you're ratting out Dario Cueto?
Yeah.
A lot of good has come from The Wire, the television show, but
Absolutely.
not wearing a wire.
Exactly.
This is true.
Exactly.
This is true. Man, if we could get Michael K. Williams in the temple, how dope would that be?
Oh man. Chris Bauer always shows up. So
This is true. This is true. Oh man. But tonight, guys, tonight is 6 to survive. Last week we saw the big 6-on-6 tag team match with the winning team advancing to this match to determine the number one contender for Matanza's Lucha Underground Championship.
I didn't realize that this one match was going to be the entire episode.
I didn't either.
Like, I was like, oh, that's crazy. They're starting with this. And then, like, halfway through it, I think Vamp or Matt Stryker was like, this is our main event. And I was like, well, I guess it makes sense.
It's our only event.
It's our only event. Yeah, but what a match. Dude.
And yeah, like, and it makes sense with it being elimination style. And Lucha Underground isn't the type to kind of pull flash eliminations where it's like one guy gets eliminated and then another guy gets schoolboyed right away.
Dude, it was funny because like they ring the bell and King Cuerno goes for like the
immediate
quick roll-up pin,
schoolboy.
and I was like, well, at least somebody went for that.
Exactly. You got to think, you got to go for pins right off the bat. And it was interesting that it was King Cuerno that did it.
Yeah,
goes,
of all people.
Goes for the schoolboy.
I was like, it's
right
gonna
off
be
the bat.
Mundo or Taya that like sneakily, or like what if Mundo would have like rolled up Taya to pin her right away?
Right. But ironically enough, it was Cuerno that did the schoolboy, and it was Mundo and Taya that started putting the boots to people.
Yeah. And then the two of them are like, no, we're going to take out Ivelisse first. I'm going to hit my Moonlight Drive. Oh, wait, she kicked out? Okay, well, we're going to keep beating the shit out of her as we go beat the shit out of this person.
Exactly. Before we get into the match, let's recap the participants. Tonight, we've got King Cuerno versus Ivelisse versus Taya versus Pentagon Jr. versus Phoenix versus Johnny Mundo.
Whew.
And one of those competitors will go on to the main event of Ultima Lucha to face Matanza for the championship.
And not just Matanza. Dario
It's
in his corner.
It's basically Dario too. Yeah, sure.
So-
It is unique opportunities.
Ooh, spooky.
Spooky. We need to make that a drop.
I'll see if I can find it.
Let's please do that. But yeah, let's start out. Yeah, right after that first kind of initial barrage, we've got a schoolboy on one side, we've got Boots to the other, but we finally get a face-off between Ivelisse and Taya. And we've talked before about how it's almost kind of rare in Lucha Underground to have like female versus female programs or matches, with of course the No Mas match being a notable exception, but now we've got Taya and Ivelisse, and that seems to be like kind of this blood feud because it's like they're both basically laying claims to being the baddest bitch.
Yeah,
you
totally.
After Taya's video package that we saw where she's like busting wine glasses
and in an evening gown.
Hitting meteors in an evening gown, exactly. Like, very, very strong case for the new baddest bitch.
Of course.
But
Ivelisse is the original OG.
Of course. But, they pretty much team up on her right off the bat. Johnny Mundo hits a Moonlight Drive. I really thought that she was going to be out.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be it.
Right.
I was like, oh no, she kicked out. Crazy. And then there was like nasty drop kicks and like a dope like double team with Phoenix and Pentagon doing the drop kick and the leg drop.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely. Yeah, we see like Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix is kind of their version of the what's up headbutt, but with a giant drop kick, like kind of to the taint region.
Yeah.
As you do. And then Phoenix just like it's nothing popping up into a leg drop. I love
crazy.
seeing them work together.
Yeah.
Like
they're good.
Like a well-oiled machine.
It's crazy. I loved how Mundo did a lot of nutty dives in this match. Like he always dives, but he was like, oh, remember I do a lot of parkour?
Exactly.
He
Yeah,
was
I think a
doing
lot
all
of
these
people
crazy twists.
I think it's easy to forget that he can do all of that now that he's been a heel for so long.
Yeah.
Like he spent so long as kind of the face just busting out everything that he could do, and now that he's been able to just flip off the crowd and kick people in the dick for a while, like I think people forget about that.
I just stand there and pose and people yell at me.
Right. And not only that, he's got a noise now that goes along with that pose every time he does it. Like every time he hits that pose, you hear like
a glimmer.
No, it's almost like a spotlight's hitting him, but there is no spotlight. It's like a doo-doo. It's weird.
That's great.
It's weird. It's not quite as good as air guitars, but it's something.
It's something. I love how like then they toss Ivelisse outside. They just pick her up and huck her.
Oh my god!
Like,
just double military press, chucking her out the ring.
A fellow chucker,
like two fellow chuckers.
King Cuerno hits this gnarly jumping sidekick.
I was just gonna say that sidekick is so dope looking.
The only thing missing was Foley on that. It's just like, where's the Foley on that one?
Exactly. Yeah, we saw a lot from Cuerno. We saw a big flying DDT, almost a la Dragon Azteca Jr. Not quite as pizza-ish, but pretty impressive nonetheless. We saw that huge leaping sidekick. And then, of course, after last week, you're not going to keep him down. Mil Muertes hits the ring. Ooh. Giant spear to King Cuerno and just starts raining down like wild Vader-style punches on him.
It was crazy because, like, I expected, like, maybe the lights are going to change or things are going to get dark. No, he just ran out and was like, no, I'm going to go kick his
right
ass
off the bat.
And then, like, Katrina's, like, trailing behind him. Like, oh, we're not going to have her just, like, appear or anything. Like,
nope.
No, they're just going to beat the shit out of him.
No foreplay, guys.
Like, Vamp's like, oh, get a shot of his eyes. What's up with his eyes?
Right.
And then, like, I was worried because at first I didn't see he had that mask with, like, the lace through it.
Right.
So I was worried, like, oh, he's wearing a normal mask again. And then, like, they showed his face, and it's that mask with the lace through it, and he's got these really gnarly red eyes. And I was like, okay, cool.
Absolutely. Continuity, guys.
It's not like when one of the 3 disciples of death or whatever, like, oh, you just pulled out 2 hearts, but you came back looking exactly normal as you did before.
Here's what I hate is that I completely forgot that even happened.
Oh, man.
I've already forgotten that Sinestro de la Muerte pulled out 2 motherfuckers' hearts.
Yeah,
and there's
2
nothing
black
to show
hearts,
for it.
And there's nothing.
Man,
No alternative.
that just broke my heart a little bit. But Mil Muertes hits a very, very dangerous looking power bomb.
Oh yeah, like I don't give a fuck about that.
He just really,
no.
really dropped him. Johnny Mundo hits the end of the world, and King Cuerno is actually the first eliminated from 6 to survive.
Did not expect that.
No, I mean, I think we had called a little bit. We knew that Mil Muertes was going to get involved somehow. I don't think we expected Cuerno to be out right away.
Disappointed!
That's exactly
Exactly.
right, man. Mark's on point.
No depths from the arrow of hell.
Yeah. Oh God, that always kills me.
I said that backwards, but
Depths from the arrows of hell. I actually like that.
I love how like Phoenix goes to shove Evilise and he totally just like grabs her boob and like pushes her.
Both times!
And Vampiro's like, oh, he shoved her on the shoulder there. I was like, what?
How's that for chivalry? Damn.
And I
Right.
loved how like Phoenix was like, oh, I don't want to fight you, you're a woman. I don't want to fight you, you're a woman. And then there's Pentagon Jr. who's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
He's
I
like,
don't
I'll
care
kill
who
a
you are."
woman.
Like he's doing Shattered Dreams on Taya. He's
Oh my
just
God, I
throwing
forgot about the
kicks to
Shattered
everybody.
Dreams. I love when Evilise starts mounting her comeback and starts making that big flurry.
She hit that Jackie Chan kick.
The weird like scorpion
Yeah,
kick.
that was so dope.
Hits the step up Rana.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. But
Not enough.
not quite enough.
Taya hits her. She like shoves her as hard as she can into the ring post, pulls her back, does a Northern Lights, rolls through, and does a double stomp.
Exactly.
And I didn't know that was going to be a pin.
Yeah.
And then it was a pin.
Well,
I
and
was
that's
like,
kind
huh.
of what it's like. That
was
and the
weird.
Meteora has kind of what she's been using as her
Yeah.
signatures. Let's talk a little bit before about that moonsault, though. That moonsault was so high and so like Kurt Angle-esque from Taya. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Pretty perfect.
It
Yeah.
was pretty perfect. But we see the Northern Lights into the roll through, into the big double stomp, and Evilise is out of the match. So now we're down to a fatal 4-way.
Yeah. And then Pentagon Jr. is like, I'm going to kick the shit out of her.
I mean, I guess sometimes you gotta hit Shattered Dreams on someone.
Shattered Dreams on her, kicks her in the ass, kicks her in the stomach, kicks her over here, kicks her over there.
Right.
Oh, she's up, I'm going to kick her again. He does not care. I
Exactly.
wrote in my notes, Pentagon Jr. hitting anyone.
Yeah.
He just hits anyone. He does
I mean,
not care.
really, that's all he'll do. What else? We get kind of a similar leaping sidekick from Phoenix, kind of like the one we saw from King Cuerno earlier. I always loved that move.
Yeah, and then there was like both of them, both Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix down in the corners, and Mundo and Taya hitting corner moves, and she hits her like furry Meteora in the corner.
right,
and I was
right.
like, okay, maybe that is a pin. No, that's not a pin.
Right.
Interesting.
What else here?
There's so many.
We've got the big springboard flying chuck from Mundo. That what is it? Because I think Taya catches a kick, and then Mundo follows up with the flying chuck, which I love. I love that sequence, that combination.
They're great together. There was a lot of like, just like yay boo strikes.
Of course,
Yay!
of course.
Boo. Yay! Boo. And I don't know if it was yet. No, it wasn't. It didn't happen yet. But there was like a part later on in the episode where like Phoenix and Pentagon are just chopping the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah.
And-
That's closer to the end.
And,
Absolutely.
Like, Vampiro's like, yeah, they throw chops so they don't break their hands. And I was
Which
like, way to like acknowledge that.
I love that call. I love that they talked about that, because the number one thing that I hear when non-wrestling fans are watching wrestling is like, oh, why are they just slapping each other on the chest?
Yeah,
and
it's
that
like-
is such a perfect rationale.
And it's so funny too, because it's like, yeah, why are they slapping each other on the chest? And then you just smack them once. And they're like,
Exactly.
oh,
Exactly.
that hurts. It stings. Why is it all red? It's like, oh yeah,
Right.
that's why they're slapping
And
each
it
other
knocks,
on the chest.
it knocks legitimately does knock the wind out of you if you're not expecting it. Especially if you're facing someone with like frying pan hands like Willie Mack.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, the thunderous clap of Willie Mack's hands when he drops you, and his
Exactly.
eyes are all big.
Oh, the Willie eyes are terrifying. We've talked about those before.
That chocolate thunderclap.
I was thinking Chocolate Thunder.
How long does this fool think I'm gonna let him hit me in the face?
Love that story. Such a great story. We see a big double stomp from Phoenix and the 3-up, 3-down package pile driver from Pentagon Jr., which takes Taya out of the match.
There was a great part where like Phoenix, I think it was Phoenix, he gets like back body dropped.
Oh,
And
into
then
a
he
Dragon
catches
Rana?
into a Rana. Yeah, I was like, oh, that was so good.
Gorgeous.
Oh, I loved it.
I love stuff like that. It reminded me a little bit of the Mean Street Posse. Do you remember the stock exchange? they would, one guy, I think it was Pete Gas would back body chop the guy, and then Joey Abs would catch him in a power bomb. And it's like, it's such a dangerous, scary move to have been done on late 90s WWE
It's like
TV.
when AJ Styles used to do like he'd throw you back for a suplex, but he let you land on your feet, and then he catches you with the neck breaker, but then no one realized, no, I'm supposed to land on my feet and then fall. And like, it always just be like an awkward like jump, like, ow, wait, I didn't know you were gonna fall yet. Like,
oh, what else? So after Taya gets eliminated, that's when we see that chop off. We see the big backdrop Dragon Rana. We see a Doctor Bomb, like a deadlift Doctor Bomb from Johnny Mundo. Which while
all this is going on, Pentagon Jr. like takes a break, and you can see him sitting on the steps, and he like gets some water, and he like drinks some water and pours it on his head. And I was like, it'd be so funny if they had like the Pirates of the Caribbean gag where he's like drinking the water, and it's just like through his skeleton body, and like you can't see it. It's just like water is like, oh, he really is a ninja skeleton.
I really want to see more done with the fact that he's legitimately a skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, if we can see Drago turning into a dragon, can we please get Pentagon just being a skeleton?
Like bones, like he just takes his bones out and puts them back, like something.
He's like Spinal from Killer Instinct.
Yes. Oh man.
You know?
Cinder.
Oh god, such a good game with great music too. Guys, go find this Killer Instinct soundtrack while you listen to this.
Now I want to play it, damn.
Right? But yeah, I love the Dr. Bomb. Like, Dr. Death Steve Williams is legitimately one of my all-time favorites. So I will never ever begrudge anyone a sit-out Dr. Bomb.
Yeah, and it like from gut wrench position too, and it makes you think like, wow, Mundo is really strong.
He's super.
Like,
he's kind of like Justin Gabriel, where he's like deceptively strong, but also insanely agile.
You're like, it's like how like Cage, like if you'd compare Cage to the Ultimate Warrior,
right?
And then like Mundo would be Rick Rude.
There you go.
Like,
there you go.
You're in that like fantastic shape where you look amazing.
Are we getting some Killer Instinct right now? Oh, I love this.
Let it happen.
This.
Let it happen.
Just let it happen. That's gonna keep playing.
Glacius.
So good. So full gore. But we saw more insane dives from Johnny Mundo. That kind of
hop one?
That double jump corkscrew dive,
Yeah.
right?
So nuts. I like the entire time I was like, man, he must be like, I feel like doing parkour tonight.
It looks and when he does stuff like that, it looks like he's actively trying not to land on his feet.
Yeah.
Like that's just his natural go-to.
And then he hits like the standing C4.
Mm-hmm.
And,
definitely.
Like sets him up on the top rope with the twisting brainbuster.
Almost like a one-person magic killer kind of.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
But yeah, we see.
And then he hits mad shining wizards for everyone.
Yeah. We saw more teamwork between Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. We see almost that. It was almost like Matt Buck's
worst case scenario.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't know if that's what they were going for, and it just didn't land right,
I
or
think
if literally like because. On commentary, Stryker's like, oh, I think one was going for a pin on the other, but it just kind of worked out that way.
I think what might have happened is that Pentagon just might have gotten trapped. He might have gotten kind of sandwiched in between and didn't want to mess up the pin. I don't know.
Well, we're just both gonna lay on him. And
but yeah, it was kind of it was. If you don't know the worst case scenario, it's where
is that a quesadora?
It's like a quesadora into like a roll through into kind of a sit out face buster.
Yeah.
But in this case, Phoenix ended up splashing Johnny Mundo. They kind of both end up pinning him, whether that was intentional or not, and Johnny Mundo is out of this match.
Did anybody else think it looked like Pentagon kept his shoulders down a little bit too much?
That's what I thought.
And I thought that it was just, I guess Phoenix just won.
That's exactly what I thought. I was really hoping it wasn't going towards a double pin.
I think they announced that on commentary. They might have mentioned that on commentary of like, oh, that was close.
Like, I went back and rewound it to see if he, like, because I saw him sitting up, but then I saw him lay back down, and did he get his shoulder up at all? It was really weird. It was really weird.
Super weird. But with that being said, we are down to a one-on-one scenario.
And this is when they just start chopping the shit out of each other.
Just killing each other.
And then they're exchanging submissions, and he puts them in the House of Pain.
Oh, man. But, like a way more vertical House of Pain.
Yeah.
Like, the House of Pain, as we've normally been used to it, is more kind of like, the guy's still sort of on the stomach.
like laying down.
Phoenix was doing a straight-up headstand with this one.
I was like... I was waiting for the Tequila Sunrise.
Of course, and we not only got the Tequila Sunrise, we got sort of a Tequila Cloverleaf.
Yeah.
Kind of like a variation on the Sunrise.
It was good.
We saw more of that. We see a huge, like, almost like a punt in the corner where I think it's Pentagon has him laying across that top, the way that Nakamura sometimes has people. And
he's just running
huge
kick.
punt right to the ribs. I love kind of the rolling uppercut, like the uppercut shote.
Oh, the rolling palm strike
from Phoenix.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good. Very like Jushin Thunder Liger-esque.
absolutely. Yeah, or shades of like 2005 era Human Tornado when he used to hit the Shoryuken.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I loved how they're doing that corner thing, and he goes like Phoenix is in the corner, Pentagon charges at him and he pops him up.
Right.
Catches him with his legs, and Phoenix is like got him in the Alabama slam position, and I'm
man.
like, okay, he's gonna slam him. And like while he's running, Pentagon twists and turns it into a destroyer. And I was just like blown away.
we saw so
Like,
many
holy
different
shit.
types of destroyers from
So
Pentagon.
many.
We saw one from the apron to the
That
outside.
was insane.
Yeah,
And I love this because, like, when P.D. Williams would do it, a lot of people would be like, oh, it doesn't make sense. Why would you flip that way? So,
Right.
like, I like it when it's done, like, oh, you're using their momentum against them.
Right,
To where it's
exactly.
like, okay, if I'm running off the apron and I jump on you and I flip this way, you're going to flip too. Or, like,
Right,
if
exactly.
you pop me up and I'm going this way, you're coming too.
yeah, exactly. There are definitely wrestling moves that make less sense than the Canadian Destroyer,
Oh,
which
for
is
sure.
weird. Like,
So crazy. The heart punch.
exactly. Oh, I love the heart punch. Love
I
old,
love how he'd always put the arm
old school
behind.
crush. Put that arm behind the head. Heart punch.
I love how Phoenix does a dive to the outside, and I counted 3, but Vampiro said 4 twists.
Oh
I was
yeah.
just like, holy shit. Like, I wish I could slow-mo this, because I really want to see how many times he
right.
twists.
We do. That's something that we need to add for season 3 is slow mo instant replays.
Yes.
So much happens in the temple that deserves a slower second look. But
Phoenix does his Phoenix hop to a top rope Rana.
Oh my God, that Rana was absolutely just insanity.
Stryker even says holy shit on commentary for it.
Exactly. Sometimes you gotta bust it out.
He's just like, and top rope hop, holy shit. I was like, okay, well, Stryker just let it out.
Exactly.
Like, okay.
But I love that it's just like it's a fight to the death. Like even the way they're covering each other is just that barely one-handed.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like barely one-handed, and then the guy like, it was like, no!
Right.
You will not defeat me.
But yeah, we see more and more of a fight to the death. We see another destroyer from Pentagon Jr. followed once again by the 3 up, 3 down package pile
I
driver.
love the name for that too.
I love
Because
that.
I was like, oh, what does he call that? And then Stryker's like 3 up, 3 down package pile
I
driver.
love
I
that.
was like, oh, that's great.
Absolutely. One of the things, if you go to the temple, people absolutely love doing Cero Miedo hands.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so fun. That and the Terminator clap for Cage.
That gets so painful after a while, though.
It does. It starts to hurt your hands because no one knows when to stop.
Phoenix hits a crunchy.
He does hit a crunchy.
Yeah, I
That's
was like,
right.
oh.
The first time that he goes for the package pile driver, Phoenix ends up reversing it into the crunchy.
And then there's just like slap, slap, chop, chop, kick, kick. And they were just going toe to toe with all
Right.
these different strike variations. I was like, oh, when's someone just going to poke someone else in the eye?
Exactly. Kind of like,
Come
yeah,
on.
it's. I always love when that happens. It's kind of like the Indiana Jones equivalent in wrestling.
The sword, and he just.
And then the gun, exactly. But yeah, a destroyer and the 3 up, 3 down. Moments later, and we've got our brand new #1 contender. It will be Pentagon Jr. taking on the monster Matanza Cueto for the Lucha Underground Championship in the main event of Ultima Lucha 2. So that is now 2 matches that we've got confirmed for Ultima Lucha. And in fact, we don't have any vignettes after the credits, so let's get into some predictions.
Oh, man. So I thought it was crazy how, like, Pentagon wins.
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
And Stryker's like, Vamp, what do you think about this? And Vamp just like instantly turned heels. Like,
Right.
what do you mean what I'm thinking? I'm thinking right now.
Pharaoh
You
gets
know, like,
so
he
mad.
got so pissed.
Well, I love when it's supposed to be like, okay, so here's a moment that Vampiro is connecting with Pentagon, and like he just instantly gets mad at Matt Stryker just for asking him questions.
Yeah.
Literally what he's been doing for the last hour.
It's like Tommy Dreamer, that ECW pay-per-view. He's like, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to sit here quietly.
Right,
It's like,
exactly.
why are you on commentary then?
Yeah, you know. But yeah, he gets mad. Yeah, he's like, I'm thinking here. Why are you always asking me questions?
Oh, it's crazy. And then like Pentagon Jr. gets the mic and he's like, I'm going to break every bone in your body.
And not just your body, but to show you how much of a badass I am, I'm gonna break all of your bones too.
Yeah.
And I think so
Spooky.
if I can extrapolate a little, I think that moment of silence from Vampiro is him realizing like, okay, it's Pentagon versus Matanza and Dario. The Dark Master may have to come out for this. And I
have to
think
summon him.
And yeah, I think that's definitely what we're gonna see. I think at one point we'll see Pentagon on the ropes, almost done. Maybe some nefarious means from Dario. We'll see that Pope hat. We'll see that weird swinging incense.
Yeah.
I think we'll see the full-on Dark Master at Ultima Lucha.
That'd be crazy.
Ooh, what do you
I
think?
hope so. I hope we definitely see Dark Master and maybe even like a tease of a tag match, possibly.
Sure.
'Cause I'd love to see Dario in the ring. Like,
Yeah.
what's he gonna do?
Right.
Like, it'd be hilarious if he like pulls his suit off and he's just jacked, ridiculous, like in better shape than Mundo.
on the El Rey Instagram, I think it was this week, they were playing Mad Max right before Lucha Underground, and so they showed a picture of like Master Blaster, but it was Dario like on Matanza's shoulders.
Like,
I love franchise crossovers,
yeah,
guys.
make it happen, guys.
Yeah, so what other matches? Let's talk a little bit about what we might see at Ultima Lucha Dos. We've only got 2 matches confirmed. We've got Matanza defending the title against Pentagon Jr., and we've got Black Lotus taking on Dragon Azteca Jr.
We may.
You
At
got
the
to
top
think.
of my list is the temple gonna get raided?
Oh,
That's
interesting.
like at the top of my list of like what
That's
could happen.
I think you're absolutely right. I think the end of this season has to just be lights out. Everyone like police raiding the
This is a
temple.
bust.
If you guys
We're
haven't
gonna shoot the moon.
exactly shoot the moon. If you haven't,
I love it. I love that Ty got that one.
makes me so happy. If you weren't following Chikara a couple years ago, they did a storyline kind of similar to this, where this huge like overseeing corporation, the Teeter conglomerate, came in and shut down Chikara, and it was dark for a long time.
I was super pissed because before that they were like, "Hey, we're gonna finally run shows in LA."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're like, "Look, we're running a show in Reseda." I was
But
like, "Oh, how about that?"
they've got an amazing video game in the works.
Really?
It's looking pretty awesome.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that.
Yeah.
With Black Mantis.
Yeah, Ultramantis is black, absolutely. Let me fit in a cheap plug. If you want to see Jervis Cottonbelly, you can see him at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on TV, or every second and fourth Sunday in Port Hueneme live.
Woo!
So see him if you like Chikara.
Full of razzmatazz.
Woo. But yeah, so I think you got to think the trios titles are going to be on the line.
That's what I was gonna say.
So
yeah.
the question is, who are Johnny Mundo, PJ Black, and Jack Evans going to defend against? Oh, look at
A
that.
fellow shredder, eh? Who's like? I'm just trying because they're the ultimate douchey bad guys, right?
Sure.
So like, who are the great heroes? I mean, Azteca's in something. Rey's not in anything yet.
No,
Maybe
and
like Rey, Phoenix, and someone
I
else that's
figure
like a big.
Aerostar and Drago need to get their titles back.
That's what I was thinking.
And with
That'd be cool.
And with Phoenix getting knocked out, by them, he might be the perfect third.
yeah, that's true.
Way to go, Mark.
There you go.
I like.
Oh, hello, Mark.
Oh, hello, Mark. I really want to see Katrina doing some crazy shit though.
Right, definitely.
Even if it's just like an awesome backstage vignette or like something, or just like maybe her and her portrait are like
right. Oh, and
in the same room together.
And there you go. You got to think Mil Muertes versus Cuerno 1-on-1.
Oh, yeah.
could happen at Ultima Lucha.
There's got to be a gimmick to that one too. Probably.
Sure. They can't do Gravist consequences.
No, that's next season, man.
It's too soon. Yeah. But what could they do? What else could they do?
What other matches are there?
I'm just like, what?
Killshot, Marty the Moth.
Oh, there you go.
Put the dog tags on a pole or dog tags on a what's the phrase?
A wire. I like it.
Yes. You got to think there's going to be some sort of blow off. Maybe Joey Ryan versus Cortez Castro. Maybe Cortez versus Cisco. Maybe the three of them in a triple threat.
I mean, why would the audience know that in the temple if that's all supposed to be like secretive?
This is true.
Peg Junk in the chat says Famous B needs to show up.
Oh,
Of course.
Maybe he gets a new client.
Oh, maybe. Or we see Mascarita Sagrada in like a 5-on-1 handicap match.
Dude.
Who knows?
You gonna be famous now.
And I mean, he's not wrong, just for not great reason.
We also, Willie, Sexy Star, need a place to be.
Sure.
Essentially, the whole rest of the team that lost last week need to be put into matches.
That's true. I'd like to see Willie versus Mariposa, actually. That'd be interesting.
Crazy. It's because there's so many like. I wonder what loose ends they're gonna tie up and what they're gonna leave as like cliffhanger for next.
Sure.
Is the thing. So like, I want to know who this Lord is, or like one more step closer towards knowing who this Lord is. Like, so maybe that'll be like a thing that's like left as a cliffhanger as opposed.
Did we already make the joke that it is Lord, the singer?
I think we did. I think we were like, oh, it's Stan Marsh.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Randy Marsh. It's
Yeah.
Randy Marsh. I am Lord. Lord. Sometimes the lowest hanging fruit is the sweetest, guys. Don't judge us.
Yeah, it's just because I want to see like all the things we've talked about right now, like Willie Mack and Marty the Moth and Killshot, and all those things get resolved.
Sure.
But at the same time, I want to know like okay, so this is still lingering on, and this is still not resolved.
And I do love our resolve and our self-control that we're not just going to Wikipedia and reading it, because
Where's the fun
it
in
is
that?
there. But don't go read it.
No.
Don't go read it, and don't spoil it for anyone.
I have another idea. What if, because of how the trios titles ended between Rey and Prince Puma, we get Rey versus Prince Puma?
Interesting.
That would be awesome.
Omoshiroi desu.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great, yeah, because we saw a little bit of tension and dissension between the two of them, of course, near the heavy bag, where
hope he
all of
just
the
growls.
tension happens. Of course. Season 3 is going to have way more sound
He's
effects.
just sitting there doing curls, and Rey like says something to him, and he just drops the barbell, and he's like, "Grr."
The ultimate of Lucha Underground vignettes would be like someone doing curls while they're pissing in the men's room.
Oh, man.
And like the heavy bag is like
no
swinging.
hands. Check it out.
No, chuck it out.
Oh, God damn it.
Fellow chucker, eh?
They're like doing curls with Taya or something.
Oh, man. So much happening. Guys, we've only got, what, 3 episodes left?
2.
We've got, have we
No,
only
wait. Was this 21?
This is
Yeah,
21.
This is 21,
Okay,
so
so
we ended
3.
24.
We've got 3 left. We've got 2 regular episodes left, and then it is time for Ultima Lucha Dos. That is exciting, guys. But we know you've got wild and wacky fan theories and predictions, so tweet us your fantasy booking. The weirder, the better. If you want to talk about dragons, or skeletons, or monsters, or time-traveling spacemen, I mean, those are already part of the canon, but you can get weirder. So tweet us, tell us about it. Let's all have a good laugh.
I love it. I love it.
So
It's gonna be
good.
So good.
This is such a fun show, and it flies by so quickly.
I told you. You were like, how are we going to fill an hour? I was like, trust me.
With
We'll
one,
get going.
with one match.
We'll get
I
going.
was really sweating it. But of course, we're going to make Killer Instinct references.
We're going to talk about Cheech and Chong up in smoke.
Dink Winkerson.
Kind of grabs you by the boo-boo, doesn't it?
But for now, Jimbo, tell them who you are and where they can find that fantastic piece of merch in front of you.
This Young Bucks documentary I made is called The Young Bucks 2 Sweet Journey. It's available at highspots.com. I did an interview with our sister network, Popcorn Talk, and I did the inside the documentary. Talked all about it with Christy Olsen
Say
and Fern.
what? I didn't know that.
It's good stuff, dude. Find it online. You can find me on Twitter at the Jimbo Slice. That's TheeJimboslice. That's at the Jimbo Slice of 2 E's. That's at the Jimbo Slice. I'll be at Money in the Bank this weekend. So if you see me in Vegas, come say hi.
Go check him out. He'll probably be wearing a Pentagon shirt or some sort of wrestling shirt. So exactly. If you want to do Cero Miedo hands with
I'm going
him,
to try and see
do
the
it.
Mac while I'm out there because he lives out there.
That's right. That's right. He does. Oh, man. But, guys, thank you so much for joining us. As always, I am Ty Matthews. I'm at Ty Matthews PMA on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, any sort of social media. Just type in Ty Matthews PMA. You'll probably find me. I'm on various other after shows, including Monday Night Raw, Houdini and Doyle, American Ninja Warrior, American Grit just wrapped up. Thank you so much for joining us over the course of that season. Of course, as always, you can find me on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays, 4 p.m., KDOC locally, U2 American nationally, Fight TV, Tough TV. Check those local listings. If you're on iTunes, remember, comment, download, review, subscribe, rate, 5 stars if you're nasty. As always, on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and just find us and talk to us. We all love wrestling. We love talking about wrestling together. So let's all be a family. But guys, until next week, Viva la Lucha!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.